We Have 8 Hours is a cooperative adventure game for 2 players or teams, playing as a pair of strangers who have found themselves stranded on an abandoned island with an imminently erupting volcano. With every choice costing them time, players must work together to figure out the island's secrets and escape before the volcano erupts. Here are some of the innovative features that sets the game apart from conventional choose-your-own-path books. First, the game is played from multiple perspectives. Because the 2 characters have distinct skills and characteristics, they each get their own book. The books aren't identical though, as some scene descriptions and available actions will differ slightly, depending on the character. And sharing your character's perspective and experiences with your partner, even if they seem trivial, can sometimes help solve puzzles and progress the game. Second, players can roam anywhere and make changes to the fictional world. An obvious limitation of choose-your-own-path books is that a player can't go back to a scene that has changed as a result of a choice they've made, as this would break the continuity of the story. This problem is typically avoided through a combination of scene descriptions that deliberately don't reference a player's past choices and only presenting choices that lead to new scenes, like in this example from the Cave of Time. However, We Have 8 Hours overcomes this limitation via a physical map that shows different locations on the island, many of which are covered by tokens. When a player intends to visit one of these locations, like a lighthouse, their book instructs them not to turn to a specific page, but rather to the page number shown on the token. If a player then makes a choice that changes that location's scene somehow, like unlocking the lighthouse door, they'll be instructed to flip over that location's token. Thus, future visits to the lighthouse would be directed to a different page, which describes the door as being unlocked. Third, there are no premature endings. Another common staple of choose-your-own-path books forces the reader to repeat the early parts of the story again and again, due to making choices that inadvertently lead to premature or undesirable endings, often the character's death. But repeatedly interrupting the story to restart does break immersion. We Have 8 Hours aims for the story to be read more like an uninterrupted novel, and so does not allow premature deaths. The story still has multiple endings, but your character only dies at the end of the game if you haven't escaped the island before the eruption, allowing for an uninterrupted game experience. And finally, it's easy to play. We Have 8 Hours shares some elements with the D&D game, like player cooperation, described scenes, and item collection, but it deliberately omits more tedious RPG mechanics like dice rolls, stat counting, and leveling up, in favour of more simplistic rules that anyone can follow. At the end of each scene, the player is presented with a set of actions. If an action will take time to complete, move your counter forward on the time track by the indicated duration, and if you reach the end of the time track without escaping the island, you lose. That's it. To check out We Have 8 Hours, head to the Game Crafter website where you can download a free sample of both characters' books and read the full game rules.